Hello guys, welcome back to the second instalment of my series called YouTube Thoughts. Now I don't have a cup of tea today, so we're going to have to figure out another way to do the fun little intro. So I'm just going to walk across the screen. Let's try that. If I just... Now, not gonna lie to you guys, today's been one of those days where I literally have done nothing. I have very honestly sat in my bed for 5 hours watching videos of festivals because for some reason I've got really into festivals. So that I didn't feel incredibly guilty about the fact that I'd wasted 24 hours of my life, I decided I'd film the second installment of this little series. So I slapped on some makeup, very literally took 2 minutes to put some makeup on. That is the fastest I've ever got ready. And we're here today. Today's agenda is talking about exploiting YouTubers. And what I mean is those YouTubers that literally basically put their naked girlfriends in the thumbnail. Now I don't want to be sexist and say, oh, it's only exploiting your partner when the girl's in the bikini in the thumbnail. Yeah, I get it, men topless, six packs, whatever, that's the same deal. But I feel like more so it's women that are getting exploited. Now I would like to call myself a feminist. I don't really know, I'm just whatever, but I'm all for equal rights. And it quite frankly pisses me off, these videos. So I won't lie to you guys, sometimes I've seen videos where I have seen, you know, a woman in the thumbnail and she's in a very sexual pose and I've clicked through to the video to be like, is that actually what happens in the vlog? For example, I'm gonna call out Roman Atwood. I know he is one of the ones that does it quite a lot, but he will literally have his girlfriend, you know, in these sexual poses. I don't mean sexual poses, but I mean like poses that could be viewed as a bit like provocative or a bit more on show than you actually would have in real life. Doing things that you would just kind of yeah. It's getting clicks. Literally all they do is get clicks. Now I'm not really going to touch on thumbnails and titles that much because I feel like that's the more clickbait side of things, and like I said, I wanted to make a separate video on that. But I'm going to talk about video styles. Now we've all seen the, you know, the tags that have gone around, like, you know, the yoga tag, the touch my body video, even videos like strip FIFA, where literally women will take off and the men too, take up an item of clothing, I think, when the other one scores a goal. And it's like, how is that producing quality content? How is that producing a meaningful video? You know that's gonna get views. And some people's channels, like, this isn't the most PG rated video I'm gonna make right now because I'm gonna talk about things, but some people, you know, have rumors where they will hire, you know, sex workers or prostitutes or whatever to come and record these videos because they feel like, you know, if it's their actual girlfriend, they are gonna, they have some sort of respect for their girlfriend, so they don't do it, and they feel like they can push other women further because they're paying, whatever. I'm gonna put some thumbnails here of, you know, some channels that really go ham on this sort of trend. All I've really talked about so far is certain YouTubers that, you know, take sexual poses or like a lot less clothing. You know, here's like my top 3 hated people for doing this. But it's not just that, it's, you know, kissing in the thumbnail, blah, 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 blah. Even with women's channels do it with their men, or even, you know, same-sex couple channels, they all do it. No, that's a lie, they don't all do it. So people will put, you know, the title of our relationship and then they'll be kissing in the thumbnail. It's like, I'm not sure what it is, but in my opinion, I view it as maybe 3 types of people that are gonna click these videos. There's one, the obvious, you know, I'm not even gonna say it, but the people that just enjoy watching that for their own pleasure. And 2, I think there's the people like me, the single people that crave affection and relationship, but they don't have one. You know, like people that are single that want the, you know, attention of another person, and because they can't satisfy themselves with a real person because, you know, they're just not in a relationship, they go to YouTube and they watch these videos of couples to sort of satisfy that need of just, you know, like companionship. Like I said, they go and they watch these videos to get a sense of companionship because they watch other people's relationships and they feel like satisfied. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Like, I kind of view it as the whole Jacob Sartorius thing. You know, Jacob Sartorius relies on young females that crave, you know, like a boyfriend, and they view him as like the perfect guy, and he hits home on that, and he's made so much money from that. And I think it's like the same thing. People crave the affection and the love of relationship. You know, they don't have one, they can't have one, so they watch these YouTubers instead. And the third person, I think, is someone, you know, like me most of the time, where they just kind of are intrigued as like, is that actually gonna happen in the vlog? Is that clickbait? Is that actually gonna happen? You know, it's just the people that kind of are intrigued and just want to know, is it real? This topic is a little bit smaller because I feel like I don't know as much on it, and it's very, I think it's widely covered already, so I don't want to go into a lot of details because I know there's a lot of people that have made videos on, you know, exploitive YouTubers, so therefore I haven't really got as much to say as I did with my other video, and you can probably find a lot more information via other people. But I did want to talk about this as one of my 3-part series. You know, it just angers me when I see people getting, for example, Roman Atwood, who makes daily vlogs. You know, he has kids, and I think he's a good person. Like, he seems like a good person, but he is so corrupt in the sense that he will upload daily videos that get millions of views. Like, he's making thousands off one video. And if you look at his channel, most of them are his girlfriend. Can we just talk about this thumbnail for a second? As I'm recording this went up 3 days ago, but just look at that title and look at the thumbnail. Obviously she is like lying in bed in her pajamas, you know. I'm trying to stay PG, but like, you know, obviously her cleavage is very much out, and the title and the setting can sort of infer the mind to think of, I mean, it kind of depends on what type of person you are, but I can imagine what he was trying to go for in a sense was, you can probably work 2 and 2 out, you know, but she went crazy, the setting or the location, obviously in the bedroom, and, you know, the way she is lying. I'm just saying, obviously she could have been fully happy with this to go up, you know, she knows she's going to make money, she's probably fine with it, you know. I imagine she's very okay with herself being portrayed in this way. Like, I don't think he would do it if she didn't. But it's just, if you look at his channel, the amount of times he uses the word she or her or girlfriend is just insane. You know, I watched one where they were in bed and they were talking at the end of the vlog in bed. The thumbnail was them in bed. Like, it was like you've had a whole day of exciting activities and you end up the vlog a couple minutes in bed and you use that picture as your thumbnail. You know, you could have done all these exciting things as your thumbnail, but you choose the one bit where your wife or your girlfriend or whatever, I don't know, is wearing slightly, it's not even explicit, it's literally her in her pajamas. But do you know what I mean? I think you get what I'm trying to say. So basically, yeah, people will, especially daily vloggers, will choose the bits of their day where they feel like, you know, fair enough, it'll get the most clicks, I understand, but it's not the sense of, you know, filming them in an intriguing place, which I think is beautiful, and people are going to want to watch that beautiful jungle scene. They will choose the ones where they think some crazy weird people are gonna watch that. Like always, this is not me trying to like make people angry or anything like that, but genuinely I think there is a bit of a problem, and I just got to get it off my chest, you know. I don't agree with it, but you can do you, boo. I just don't agree with what you're doing by doing this to your girlfriend, your relationship, not just your girlfriend, but the whole relationship they exploit. So that's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much. Like I encourage you guys to use the comment section as a discussion. I have pinned a comment last time which I thought was really, you know, summed up what I had to say, and I do pin comments, I respond to loads of them, so please get the discussion going in the comment section below. And I feel like obviously this channel doesn't get as much support as my main one just because I have a lot more subscribers on there, but if it would take the time to sort of share this on Twitter, whatever, it would mean a lot, because I do actually have a real passion for what I'm having to say. I myself, as someone that does value women, obviously I am a female, and I don't like the whole objectifying women in thumbnails. I think it's horrendous. And also men, like I say, also men, people, you know, put their boyfriends in their 6-pack on the beach, like, yeah, I feel you. This video was shot in a different abandoned room of my house because honestly, I'm gonna insert footage, I am not feeling those lights. Like, I was not gonna use that light to film, so I had to change. And also this whole place is a mess. Like, I kind of am having struggle breathing right now because there's so much dust in the air. Like, they've ruined our house right now. And I'm having a struggle, like I said, breathing. So I'm gonna get out of here because my throat is dying with the amount of dust in the air. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please be sure to subscribe. I appreciate it. Share this video on Twitter. All my social media is in the description below, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.